Hello, good morning. Hi, friends. So this morning we are on day 12. It's awesome. Day 12. Okay, so it is the 30th. That's awesome. Good morning. Hi, welcome. So day 12. Kind of crazy that it's already been 12 days, but I'm just really enjoying kind of like getting this done because like this morning I didn't really want to wake up or do anything, but I did anyways, and now I'm like, okay, I'm here, I feel good, so if you've been in that place before, I just want to like send that to you because sometimes it's like I don't want to, but then I do, and then I feel good after, Hello, welcome. Hi, thank you for sending the likes and sharing this, especially if you're just getting here. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to start with some journaling. So if you have your journal, go ahead and grab it. Thank you for the follow. And you can see that like for my journaling, this is one day, this is the second day. So it's not like a lot. We're not like going and like diving deep. We're just kind of writing our date and then like doing a couple of things for the journaling. So, and I do this every morning, go live, and we do some gratitude journaling, a little bit of meditation, and then some movement. So if you want to join us on a regular basis and you're like, oh, I need a reminder, I do have a free 60-minute class that's linked in my bio, and you can sign up for that and then get on my email list. And so I can send you an email reminder every morning. I want to start doing yoga so bad, but I don't know where to start. I got you. Like, let's start here. Let's start today. We'll be doing some yoga at the very end. Today is going to be like a core movement practice. So if you're wanting to like work on back pain especially, that's where we're going to start today. And I feel like a lot of people skip that with any type of back pain. They like don't want to. And so I'm going to give you a lot of things at the end. And then as far as like starting a yoga practice on a regular basis, my Yoga for Complete Fat Beginners is on my website, so you can go check that out. And that's perfect for anybody who has zero idea of where to start. A lot of times people will start in a beginner's class and they'll like be doing handstands or something crazy. There's no handstands in my classes. We usually are seated most of the time, and I teach you like very basic concepts in that yoga class. So, and it's 4 weeks of classes, and you get like a lifetime access. So it's kind of cool. Thank you for following me. Awesome. Okay, so the first thing you want to do when you're gratitude journaling, or I like doing, is just kind of like getting out anything that's like in your brain that might kind of impede on the gratitude part of the journaling. So it might like affect it in a way where if you're kind of thinking about something, you want to like let it go first. So just kind of write that down. When I first woke up this morning, I did not want to wake up. I was like, gosh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be here. And I'm very sensitive to like temperature and like things like that. And it was cold in my house. And so I went and I like adjusted the thermostat, and I like got a blanket, and I like, did the things that I needed to do to like get myself like comfortable. And sometimes like that's what it takes too, So if you've been feeling a certain way when you wake up, like acknowledging that maybe you need to adjust your thermostat, have cozy blankets, get something comfortable around you so that you can like quickly kind of like adjust, because the last thing you want to do is like get out of your comfortable warm bed in the morning. So yeah, woke up cold is what I'm writing down. Had to like adjust a lot of things. And this is a good kind of like recollection of everything, because then I can like maybe adjust my thermostat so that doesn't happen again, or have something like handy nearby, you know. And then after you write down whatever it is that's in your brain, write down 1, 2, 3. And we're just going to write down 3 different things in 1, 2, 3, just like this. 3 different things that we're grateful for. So this can be the same thing that you wrote yesterday, if that's like what you're still grateful for. It could be something big, like a promotion, or your life, or your family. It could be something small, like your favorite TV show, or a pin that you like to hold. You can be grateful for whatever it is, right? Like, this is your gratitude journal. I like writing down coffee and community. Those are my like 2 things on the end that like I really truly am grateful for. So my coffee in the morning, I just love it so much. It's like my favorite thing in the morning. It's one of the reasons why I like, when I get up, I stay up. And then community, like, I love this community. I love the people that join me in the morning, as well as the people who like my videos, comment on them, and help me kind of get the word out, you know, as far as yoga accessibility and everything. So my number 1 thing for this morning, yesterday I went to like the Van Gogh exhibit, and it was just really cool to kind of learn a little bit of something about him and how his life was. Like, the first half of the whole experience was just like reading and understanding who he was. I didn't know he was an art dealer. I didn't know, like, he went through a lot of things, and he basically, I mean, I knew that he wasn't like recognized for his art until after he had passed, but like, he really wasn't. So it was just interesting, and I like learning about stuff like that. So I'm just gonna put down like art history is something I'm grateful for. And it's kind of interesting as I get older how, like, I know that a million years ago I have had the thought of who would want to be an art history major, and now I'm like, I really enjoy art history. I think it's interesting, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and find a little bit of meditation. So if you have written down your 3 things, you can begin with me. If you need to still take some time, you can begin whenever you're ready. So I'm going to just kind of scoot back here and move that over. I have an art history degree. I love it. That's awesome. Like, you got to like study all that stuff and understand it, and then you're probably like, I don't use it for the thing that I wanted to use it for, which is also good. Like, do you know? Once you find a comfortable seat, it doesn't have to be how I'm sitting. It could be like one leg extended. Actually, that feels really good for me right now. It could be in a chair. It could be laying down. Like, you can find whatever comfortable position. I'm actually sitting on like a very thick pillow, but it's called a bolster for like yoga. So thanks for following me. So however you want to sit, and then just kind of, I like to just kind of settle into my spine, like lean back, lean forward, maybe just kind of check in, like, how are we doing, right? And then once you kind of check in, let your body just kind of settle, right? So maybe take a deep inhale. You feel like a little bit of a lift. Open mouth, exhale. You settle in deeply into the mat, into everything. If you feel comfortable enough to kind of shut down the eyes, you can have a soft gaze, like relax your eyes or actually close them. It's up to you to decide. Relax your jaw, relax all the muscles around your face, your forehead, your cheeks. And then I want you to take your right hand and place it on your heart, and your left hand place it on the belly. You can actually kind of find the skin of your belly and place your hand on your skin, but just for the sake of this clock app, I'm going to place my hand on my shirt. So do whatever feels good for you here. And as you inhale, maybe feel the belly press out against your hand, your chest lift. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, open mouth, exhale. Last time on your own. And I'd like for you to just take your time here and just send some belly love to your belly. So send some love to the belly. I'm going to switch the direction of my legs, and you're allowed to do that too. So if your legs are feeling a certain way, you can always switch. So what does sending love to the belly look like? Maybe you say, thank you, belly, for existing on my body. Maybe you just gently kind of have a circular motion pressing into the belly. Maybe you give yourself a little bit of a hug, saying, oh, I love you, belly. So just sending some love. Like, you could also just think, like, I'm sending my belly love. Like, however it is that feels good to you, go ahead and do that. And then let's just thank our bellies for digesting our food and holding in our organs. We appreciate you and your hard work every single day. And just remind your belly, like, you don't need to change a thing. And as you breathe and feel into your body, just notice if you're kind of could slow down the breath maybe a little bit more. And we'll be here in silence for just a few breaths, letting you connect to your body and your breath. Allow yourself to just like give one more deep breath, or maybe a nice squeeze of the body, and then relax your arms coming down to your sides. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes or come into like focus. Bring your hands to heart center and just thank yourself for showing up today, meditating. Amazing job. If you want to continue practicing with me, we are going to do like a core workout. If this was the end of your practice, I love you. I hope you have a beautiful day. Let's go ahead and find our core work. So I'm sitting on something, and if you don't have a bolster but you want something to sit on, you could always do like a folded blanket, a folded towel, maybe 2 pillows. Like traditional pillows don't necessarily have the same firmness as like a bolster pillow. You could also sit on something like a block or something completely different than what I mentioned. Like I have this like foam roller thing. Like you might want to sit on something like that, like if that's what you have handy, you know. So I'm just gonna scoot back, and we're gonna do something similar and then a little bit different than we did yesterday. So legs are going to be out in front of you, and take them a little bit wider, and then push into the side of the belly just to kind of give yourself a little bit more room. Otherwise, I'm kind of like leaning back like this. I want to lean forward so I can feel a little bit of pressure on my feet. Okay, so lift up your toes, set them down, press into the sides of the belly so that you are here. Then I want you to bring your hands to your knees And then engage your core here. Lift up your chest. Then take a deep breath. Bring your arms out in front of you. And then bring them back to your knees. You're working a lot of things here. So your chest is lifted, your core is engaged, your thighs are on fire. And then maybe you lean back with flat back. And maybe one leg lifts. And then come back to center. Come back, maybe hands come behind, the other leg lifts. Back to center. Maybe both of the arms want to stay out. So this is kind of what we're doing, right? So one leg at a time, we're just gently rocking back and forth, working on our core. If you've been following me, you know that I've been kind of struggling with some back pain. So that's why we're working on core this morning. I don't usually do a lot of core work, and maybe that's why my back is weak. So we just go back and forth until we feel like, okay, that feels good. Hold this last move. And let's extend our legs out in front of us and then just forward fold. So relaxing. And I like to just kind of have like a rounded back here. We're just letting ourselves just kind of, my belly just needs a little break here. And then come all the way back up. And then let's cross our legs, bring our hands behind our heads, engage our core a lot, and then exhale, crunch to the right. And we'll do this 10 times. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I don't typically like to do things like this in my yoga practice, but these types of movements are so good for people who have accessibility. I don't want to say issues, but maybe struggle with accessibility. And then this is like the moves that really do the work. On that next inhale, we come back to center. I lost count, but that's okay. So lift up the chest, so make sure we're not like leaning forward here. And exhale, left arm, left leg. 1, or 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. On that next exhale, we come back to center, and we're going to take this elbow and find a twist. So we're opening to the left. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and if you need to stop halfway, that is up to you because this is your practice, right? Relax your shoulders, just notice my arms are kind of burning just holding them in this position, so that's awesome. We can relax them. Bring your hands back, engage your core. 10. My back just popped. 9, 8. And we're really focusing on crunching as we like twist. 7, 6. And then people always are saying like chair workouts aren't effective. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, relax your arms. And let's just forward fold. Oh, yeah, that feels good. And whenever you're ready, come all the way back up. Let's bring our legs out in front again. Adjust your belly. Okay, arms out or maybe to the knees. Lean back, lift up your leg. Exhale, come forward. Lean back, lift up your other leg. Exhale, come forward. We're doing the same thing we did before. Option to lift the leg. You can always keep it down if you'd like. Our back is flat. We feel good in our bodies. So this for 3. And for 2. And this is the last one, and we'll hold this last position here. engaging, engaging, engaging. And then on that next exhale, extend the legs, forward fold. And we can kind of like wiggle our shoulders, or maybe just kind of pause, take a deep breath, allow yourself to just kind of be here, be present. That next inhale, come all the way back up. Let's stretch out the hips. We can bring our feet together in butterfly. And the feet might come out like this. If you're struggling with your knees, where they're like up high like this, legs out a little bit more. Or you can put something underneath your knee, something like this. So you're not having to think about this part, like if it's not feeling good. So go ahead and find whatever position feels good. And then a very gentle just touch to your ankles. Inhale, we lift up the chest. And then exhale, we begin to hinge forward. The gentle grab is not affecting how far down I go. Some people are like this, right? So gentle, gentle, gentle. This is just a placement of the hands. You could even bring your hands out in front of you. But the main thing here is my chest is lifted because I want to focus on my outer hip, my low back, because that's what is needing the stretch. If I want to think about my upper back or other places, then maybe I would kind of round my back, but not this morning. We have done a lot of like this kind of core work, so we want to stretch it out. Breathing. Reminding ourselves the goal is not to bring our toes or our nose to our toes. Our goal is to stretch out our hips here. Our goal is to feel good in our bodies. Like I think sometimes we need like a rephrasing of how positions look and then how we should feel in our bodies, because a lot of times we're like, oh, my pose doesn't look like that. That means that I'm not doing it right. That means that I'm not as good of a practitioner, which is very wrong. It might be that way in other types of movement practices, but not in yoga. Go ahead and lean back. So chest is lifted. And then let's just extend our legs. So one leg extended, other leg extended. This can be super wide, or it could just be a little bit wide. So this is, you could have your legs like this, but I'm gonna kind of take my legs wide, so we'll find a wide-legged forward fold. I'm flexing my feet a lot, so the tops of my thighs are engaged, lifting up my chest, and then slowly moving forward. And you can kind of see like inches, millimeters. Like moving forward doesn't have to mean like my hands are way out here. Like that doesn't need to happen. What needs to happen is I want to stretch the inside of my thighs. That other move stretched the outside of my outer thigh. So I want to stretch the inner thigh as well. We worked our whole, this is part of our core, right? That upper thigh area. And we want to stretch it out when we're done. And that's all connected. Our hips are so connected to our core and our low back and everything. And we want to make sure it's all stretched out. Otherwise, we're going to have pain. And if we're not stretching every part of it, we're going to cause injury to ourselves, because if one side is stretched and the other side is not, then that side is going to have to compensate for the other. Our bodies are constantly trying to be in alignment, and we have to help them sometimes and do the moves a certain way. We don't always do that for ourselves. On that next inhale, let's come all the way back up and bring our legs together. And on this next one, let's bring hands and knees to the mat and just do a couple of cat-cows, working on moving our back. This will be the way that we finish our practice today. So knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Look between your fingers. Inhale, lift up the chest, and let's just pause here for a moment and really feel that stretch in our front bodies. We want to stretch out that core that we worked on today. So really sticking out the booty, really accentuating that that back sway, the sway back. So finding that cow pose, maybe even making your gaze look up. And then whenever we're ready, oh, this feels so good. Let's slowly, slowly, slowly come back to center and then keep going and finding a cat shape. So pressing into the hands, rounding the back, tucking the hips, and really accentuating the shoulders. So tuck, 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 push, push, push. And then just staying here for an extra breath. And then coming back to center. Going slow, slow, slow. This doesn't have to be a competition, a race. I like to tuck my heels, lean back, I get a little calf stretch, tuck my heels, tuck my toes. So here I am with my toes tucked, and I'm just gonna lean my hips back so I get my calf stretch. You could also lean forward and get a wrist stretch. So you can kind of rock back and forth. This is good for tailbone pain too. I did a TikTok on that recently. Somebody asked about tailbone pain, and I was just like, oh, I have never done a video on tailbone pain, and this type of action actually does help. So then I want you to wiggle your hips to the left, to the right. Feel that outer hip. So wiggle to the left, to the right. Maybe sit back. This can be very organic too if you want to kind of find some wave-like action. So moving your body forward, back, with your back body kind of rounding and swaying. Moving to the right, moving to the left. You can really kind of find whatever organic movement feels good. These types of moves just kind of lubricate all those bones, makes them feel really good. A lot of people use this as a warm-up. I like to finish my practice with my cat-cows. Sometimes I'll start them in the warm-ups, but I feel like it really just gets in all the good places. And you can do that for as long as you need to, like what feels good for you if you want to keep going. And then if you want to go ahead and just finish with me, we can find our shavasana. Traditionally, shavasana is on your back, so if you want to lay down, go for it. I'm going to sit down for mine. So up to you. You get to decide. It's your practice. You could also be standing. You can sit in a chair. It's kind of like what feels good for you and your body, right? All right. Let's go ahead and find shavasana. And basically it just means when you're moving, your body is and your mind is in a different place, right? So maybe you're kind of like up here, and every day your mind is here, and we want to get back to here, but before we get back to here, we have to go down here to like a non-movement place. So if you're going movement to like regular daily practice, we need to come all the way down and then go back to regular, if that makes sense. So we never want to skip shavasana, because that is how shavasana works. It brings you back into regular everyday stuff. So if that makes sense, go ahead and lift up your chest, or maybe just find that connection. Your palms could be face up if you want to receive the gifts of the universe, palms face down to find some grounding. So whatever feels good for you today. I think down for me, grounding, I need some grounding. And then just take a deep inhale, fill up the belly, the chest, feel everything expand. Open mouth, exhale. Let your body just really settle into the earth. You feel that connection, maybe like a little extra pressure. And this time I want you to engage all the muscles in your body. Squeeze the bum, squeeze the thighs, the arms, the shoulders, the jaw, the face, everything squeeze, and then relax everything. Let it all go. That's a fun trick to kind of bring all the tension out of your body. And here I want you to think about how you feel. How does your body feel in this moment? If you have thoughts of, what's happening next? I've got stuff going on. Here's my to-do list. Okay, after this, I'm going to do this. Let those thoughts just kind of roll right out of your brain, right as soon as they come in. Just recognize that Your brain is working in overdrive most of the time, and settling it down is hard. So just take your time. Settle in. How does my body feel? Relax your breath so it's just coming into neutral, easy, gentle breathing. Then we'll be here for just about a minute in silence for your shavasana. That next exhale, begin to circle out wrists, ankles, and maybe if you're on your back body, you roll to one side and gently push yourself up to a seated pose. No rush, getting here whenever you're ready. Bring your hands to your heart center, tuck your chin, and just allow yourself to just be here and thank yourself for showing up today. Bring your thumbs to your third eye, so that little space between your eyebrows. The divine light within me honors the divine light within each and every one of you. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. I can't say I wonder if I could respond to an email request about the 75-day course I purchased. Yeah, if you emailed me, I'll email you back. My email is on the top of my stuff. So if you emailed me recently, I will get back to you for sure. Greetings. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate all of you. Awesome. Thanks, Tiff. You're welcome. Yeah, I always feel good after shavasana. And it's just interesting, people who skip it, and I get it, like timing and stuff like that, but I would encourage you to never skip shavasana. It's like such an important part of a yoga practice. It brings you back to the now, versus going from like moving, and then continuing to move. You need to like bring yourself all the way back down, if that makes sense. I fell asleep while lying on my back. Oh, that's amazing. Such a great way to start the morning. Yay! It's 4 p.m. here, so it's perfect. Yay! Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, could be done at any time of the day, right? If it could be like a lunchtime practice, it could be morning, afternoon, right before bed. Just because it's called mindful morning doesn't mean it has to be done in the morning, but like 4 p.m. A lot of people who are on here are in different time zones, and they say, oh, this is the perfect time for me. This is the time I'm on. And so I'm glad that it like aligns with whatever you need for the day. It's my favorite part. Yay. Awesome. I love that. I think that's cool too. Like having something to look forward to in your day. So good. So good. So some of the things I have been thinking about lately include adjusting some of the where I'm offering my my content. And since I've been doing this mindful morning, I now have this is our 12th one, and I'm trying to decide if I want to continue with Kajabi, which is like a certain platform where I host everything, or if I want to switch it up and put everything, this specific content on a different platform. And I have 3 options. One would be an app, creating an app that's specific to me. Another would be Patreon, and then YouTube. And I was like talking to my husband about this last night. And whatever I end up doing, it's an investment of time, it's an investment of money. And so I'm trying to decide like what I should do, like what is the platforms that people feel safe and comfortable using, and like if that would align with like what I'm doing. And so I see a lot of creators using Patreon and YouTube, which those two are kind of like at the top of my thought process. And I'm going to reach out to a few other creators because I think that's an important part of it as well. But what platform do you find, you hear the most about, or you feel like you trust them, like you would invest in a creator because they use that platform? Just out of curiosity, like, do you feel like Patreon is like safe and trusted and a lot of people use it and that's the one, or maybe like a YouTube subscription where people, because you have access to YouTube already and it would be easy for you to like get that. Just wondering if anybody has any like thoughts around that, because the main audience that I serve, they're the ones that would be accessing it. So I would want to like give everybody kind of like a chance to kind of pick. Thank you for sharing my live. I appreciate you. It's just more of a curiosity standpoint. Maybe I need to put something in my Instagram stories because, or maybe even like my stories here on TikTok, like which platform do you find is most trusted, most safe, like Patreon versus like a YouTube subscription. Just trying to figure out like what I could do, because I want to make my membership more accessible, like from a monetary standpoint. Right now I give like a couple of days free, but it's $33 a month and that's kind of expensive. And so I want to just think about offering something different that I'm doing right now that I could post in that. So I think YouTube subscription. I've also used Kajabi and I've liked it. Interesting. Not familiar with Patreon. I've heard of it, but haven't used it. Interesting. Yeah, I know a lot of creators are using the YouTube subscriptions recently, and I got invited to like something on YouTube, and I'm like, YouTube subscription does take about 25% of the pay. So it's like you have to account for that when you are charging your members, because like right now I get a flat fee. So they don't take a percent from Kajabi because it's kind of like I'm paying for like the hosting platform. 25%. Yeah, it's a lot. But if it's accessible and I find the right point to charge or like to accept payment from, it might be worth it, because maybe people are more comfortable. I have had people say like, you don't seem like legit because like my website looks different from YouTube, Patreon, right? Like people are like hesitant to spend money on my courses because I have like completely made my website look like specific to like my brand or what I want, you know what I mean? It's just interesting how the mind really works when you're making a purchase, and you have to think about that as a creator, like the psychology behind like what people feel comfortable enough to like invest in. And so I've been thinking a lot about that and how what a dollar amount feels right for me. I saw one creator charging like $4 for their monthly things, and they have like over 1,500 people, and I'm just like, that's amazing, right? So to be able to offer something like that might be kind of what I'm wanting to do, like having that. And I think with Patreon, it's 8%. So you do YouTube, it's 25. And then Patreon, it's 8. But then how many people are using Patreon. Like, would you go to Patreon as the thing? Or if you're already watching YouTube, would you like be more comfortable? Because like I watch YouTube all the time. Like if I'm like doing a chore or something, I'll put a YouTube video on and I'll put that on as my body doubling and get the chore done instead of a podcast. I don't know if anybody ever does that. Is that something that anybody does? Only me. But like when I'm driving, I like to put a YouTube on. I don't watch it, I listen. So it's just interesting to kind of understand like this, like same, yeah, psychology behind it. So if you're already on there, like that's something that is already on and trusted. And it's a lot of effort to like put all your stuff in one basket. But I found when I committed to like Kajabi, like everything worked out, like it was what I needed. So I think it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Like whatever I'm thinking about, it needs to be thought of, but like the process is to just get to wherever I go. And then once I'm there, it'll be the right one, if that makes sense. So it doesn't really matter which one I choose because all of the options are the right ones. So whatever I end up choosing will be the right ones. But knowing that I need to make a shift, I think that's the biggest hurdle to get over, because I think it's hard to kind of like have a platform. Like I've been on Kajabi for almost 3 years. Oh, thank you for sharing me. And so for me to go from Kajabi to something else, that would be like huge. But my kids are starting school the middle of August, and I want to, I've thought a lot about this, but I really want to like create something for, in a different space. I think Kajabi is amazing, but it's kind of lacking in some places. I thought it would have like an app by now, like it would give me access to that, and it's just not. And I just don't have the patience to learn how to navigate all that in a way that would be beneficial to my members. And it makes more sense to me to switch platforms, because I have sat there and like, okay, I'm going to figure this out, right? For hours and hours and hours. And then I ended up paying somebody for doing it. I'm like, this just doesn't make sense. Like I need to be able to navigate my own platform. Like it doesn't make sense for me to get outside help because this is not navigatable for me. If it's not navigatable, is that a word? If I can't navigate it, how are my members not, so these are just my morning thoughts. These are the things that are like coming on in my brain that I'm just sharing with you. But yeah, YouTube memberships, maybe that's the way to go. I keep leaning in that direction. And I think the thing that's kind of like popping out at me is that I see most people promoting Patreon, like larger creators, much larger than me, like 2, 5, 6 million followers, very much of a larger platform than I have. And I see them on Patreon and I'm just like, is this the way I want to go? And so it's just, it makes you think. It's a lot of stuff. And like I said, maybe it's a process of, this is just what I need to think about, and then whatever I choose is going to be the right one. Because sometimes like you just don't know until you do it. You just don't. Like nobody knows how it's going to be. And even if I got advice from somebody else, and I hope this could apply to whoever's watching, but even if you get advice from somebody else, like that's their experience. It won't ever be your experience. And so you can't really trust that. You could like listen and you can understand and be like, yeah, like, good morning. I really like that perspective, right? But at the same time, their experience will never be the same as yours. I had somebody who told me, oh gosh, I forget what it was called, but it really did kind of hit all the marks that I needed for a platform. It had the community aspect down, like it really focused on community. Whoa, there is a spider that wants to be a friend, and I cannot be your friend, dude. Sorry. Ah. Oh my God. I can't. I'm sorry. That was a big spider. Is the universe telling me to stop talking? Good morning. It was probably this big, but it looked like it was this big. Just, my mat is black and the spider was black, and it just, you see a movement and you're like, what the fuck? Whatever. I usually don't kill spiders, let me just tell you that, but like, if I'm on the ground, it's a reflex a little bit. Sometimes if I happen to catch one out of the corner of my eye, I will try to release it, like catch and release. But not that guy. Sorry, I would have done the same thing you just did. I'm sorry, I'm on the ground. Like, get out of my bubble. Like, I'm fine with you existing in my home, honestly. Just don't come near me. Like, I don't know if you could like bite me or like get at me. Like, I'm not here for that. You're welcome to like enjoy whatever you need to in my home, but like, don't tell me you're here. Like, I don't want to know. Let me guess, a spider. Yes, exactly. That spider came out of nowhere. It was like, why would you even come near me? Like, what was the point of that? Like, why would a spider decide to just like pop out of nowhere and like attack? Like, basically, right? Okay, it wasn't attacking me, but it was coming near. It like came right underneath my bolster. Like, it was under it. So technically it was wanting to get squashed. Because why would you get under? I can't with spiders. Anyways, I think the universe just needs me to laugh and not think and put too much in my brain. Okay, that's a good place to end this morning's live. Thanks for watching, friends. I appreciate all of you. I will see you guys tomorrow. We do this every morning. We do a journal, a meditation, and a spider killing. No, I'm just kidding. A movement practice. Have a great day. Thank you. Every single morning at 6 a.m. And it's usually about 20 to 30 minutes long. So if you want to join me and you want a reminder, I do have an email link in my bio. I also have like a free 60-minute yoga class. Sign up for that. That'll get you on my email list. I have a YouTube channel. Go check that out. Hundreds of videos on my YouTube channel. Things from like sitting on a chair, using blocks, from the ground, traditional yoga practices, like everything. See you tomorrow. And then I also am going to Costa Rica next April, so if you like the vibes and you want to practice yoga with me in person, that'll be one of the only times that I'll be doing like live classes and everything. So Costa Rica in April, my link is in bio. And then if you want to start a practice like this, but you can't wake up in time, my 75 self-love challenge is available. It's 75 days of just like this. So go and check that out. But yeah, have a beautiful day and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.